G'day everyone and welcome to our Monday footy feed. We begin with the ongoing turmoil at Melbourne, and an embarrassed Colin Garland has fronted the cameras after his side's 60-point capitulation to the Suns. And while the pressure continues to mount on Mark Neild, Garland has defended his coach. Jackie Reid reports.
Dejected and confused, Colin Garland was blunt in his assessment of Melbourne's performance.
I'm embarrassed for myself. In the club, I don't believe this is where we should be at the moment. We're not just letting Mark Neild down, we're letting ourselves down and the supporters down as well.
The Demons managed just 38 tackles against the Gold Coast, a damning statistic that has Mark Neild's job hanging by the barest of threads. But Garland believes that blame is ill-directed.
Mark Neild wasn't the one that was missing tackles yesterday, or missing basic skills and not marking balls that they should be. Like, he's not the one that's making those basic errors. You guys asked us about the basics. I mean, they are basics. That's why they're called basics.
It's a problem that has crippled Neild's game plan.
Setups and everything don't matter if you don't want to compete and if you don't want to tackle, then you're not going to be in any game you play.
A competitive effort against Richmond on Sunday, the only remedy for the struggling Demons. Jackie Reid, AFL.com.au.
Well, it was always going to be a tough beginning to the season for Hawthorn, but after a 6-1 start, including accounting for the Swans in the grand final rematch, life could be set to get a bit easier. For more, Mark McGugan is at Waverley.
Thanks, Matty. Well, the Hawks have now reached the end of their start from hell with 6 wins on the board and face GWS, Gold Coast and Melbourne over the next 3 weeks. But the lower-ranked opposition doesn't mean there'll be any drop in intensity, according to skipper Luke Hodge.
Oh, look, you come up against obviously the two new franchise teams, and you got to expect that they're going to develop. We went through it when Clarko first got here, and you got to expect that they're going to play good footy at times, and probably as younger guys, they're probably going to be a little bit inconsistent. And
if there's any talk of resting players over the coming weeks, Hodge doesn't want to know about it.
I know as a footballer, you want to play every game you can, so it's up to sort of Clarko and the match committee on who they select.
That's it from Waverley. Back to you, Matty.
Thank you for that, Mark. Meanwhile, Sydney coach John Longmire is still searching for answers after the reigning premiers lost to Hawthorn in the grand final rematch.
Never useful to lose a game of footy. I'm still struggling with that concept. There were some areas on the weekend's game, particularly with our ball use and transition, that we need to get better at, and they're probably the themes that come out of the game.
The Swans now face a challenging test against Fremantle, with ruckman Shane Mumford a 50-50 chance to return from groin soreness. Majak Daw has certainly made waves after kicking 6 goals against the Bulldogs. Next up, his Kangaroos take on West Coast, and it's not just Daw's goal kicking that's caught Nick Natanui's eye.
That's probably the main thing I've been commenting about in the gym. They're saying, you know, this guy looks like, and where's your muscles? No, it's good. I haven't seen a bigger man. He's just so ripped.
The Eagles face the Roos on Friday night. Tom Lynch isn't coming back down to earth anytime soon. A 10-goal haul in Adelaide's big win over the Suns, and now a message from Crows great Tony Modra.
Mod's actually texted him. It was like the best text message he's ever received, he reckons.
He joins Modra and Scott Hodges as the only Crows to boot 10 goals in a game. And as we told you earlier here on AFL.com.au, a matchday mystery involving Carlton's Andrew Carazzo. The Blues face St Kilda at Etihad tonight. He attended the scanning centre this morning and went the extra mile to try and avoid the cameras he missed last week with a calf strain. And that's all we've got for you on our Monday footy feed. I'm Matt Thompson. Enjoy the footy tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.